Good morning, and my name is Sita Mutyala. Today I am interviewing Mr. AVN Reddy Garu, as we say in Telugu, in respect, along with his beautiful wife, Dr. Swaroop Reddy, on behalf of Foundation for India Studies for the Indo-American Oral History Project, in partnership with Houston Public Library and Houston Community College. Welcome, Mr. AVN Reddy Garu and Dr. Swaroop. Thank you for coming today and giving us a chance to interview and hear all about your wonderful experiences. You are a long-time Houstonian. We like to hear all your experiences.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. It's a great opportunity, and we'll definitely give whatever information we can give.
Okay. We're all interested in finding out, where were you born and raised? Which state? Andhra Pradesh or Telangana? Which the U state?
Yeah.
Where did you study? And please elaborate on your childhood and education.
Okay, sure, definitely. I was born in a small village called Raygonda. It's in Warangal district of now Telangana state. Used to be Andhra Pradesh. And I'm the sixth child out of 9 children.
Wow.
We have 5 brothers and 4 sisters, so I'm the 6th child. My parents are farmers, so came from a modest family, but my parents were very much interested to educate all the children. So all our siblings, they had good education, and most of them are here in the United States. And I studied mostly first primary school in a small taluk headquarters, and then all my high school education and all that in a district headquarters, Warangal.
Warangal, okay.
Yeah. Then I did engineering, it's a 3-year college in Warangal, and of course then for further studies I came here. After high school graduation, I was really a teenager. That's when I met a beautiful young girl. She was just a teenager at that time. And it just happened in relatives' wedding, and we fell in love at first sight. And that's the lady sitting next to me. And after 7 years, we got married in 1968. And within 1 year, I came to United States in 69.
69.
69.
Okay.
For further education. She was in the medical school. She couldn't come with me. So after she completed her medical school, then she came and joined in 1972.
72.
So here basically I went to Tennessee Tech University, and from there I graduated, and then moved to different places, mostly in South. So in South Carolina and Alabama, and then moved to Houston in 81. Since then I've been here.
Good. You covered the things that I wanted to ask you, I wanted you to tell me. So which is, when did you come to US,
Yeah, right.
and all your education, and what about Houston? But tell me, what was your impression when you first came to Houston, and how was your experience in those days?
Yeah, actually, I missed to tell you, but first when I came to United States, of course, it's overwhelming coming from India to United States, it's a different country, and so when I went to school, I was just basically there were very few Indians, and there were no Telugu speaking from our state, so it was kind of I was missing everybody, and
It was in where?
It was in Cookwell, Tennessee.
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 Yeah, Tennessee. I went to Tennessee.
69.
69.
Yes.
Tennessee Technology University. So everything was different. Different language, different culture, and all that. And I was really basically homesick for a long time, and missing everybody. And that time the things were so different. I mean, we always tell our children and grandchildren, the gas was 23 cents, and
Yes.
postage stamp was 6 cents, and we used to go to the grocery store by walking, and then buy all the groceries, and for $1 taxi, they used to bring us. Yeah, it was just $1. So things were And of course, I used to work on the campus for minimum wages, $30 an hour.
Okay.
So it was different world. And after moving all the places, then I moved to Houston, in '81. And
81, okay.
that's when, of course, when we first moved, still there were a lot of Indians, a lot of Telugu people, not as many as we have now. So, and since then, Houston grew a lot. I mean, but when we came in, it was little different. I mean.
Yes. I know we are good friends even in Alabama and
Right.
and in Houston too. And now I want to ask you. You were instrumental in bringing 3 or more multi-million Telugu conventions to you in Houston. Those large-scale conventions definitely contributed to Houston community. Please comment or express your experience during these conventions.
Yeah, I mean, actually, Swaroop and I, somehow we have a lot of passion, for this, to work in the organization, Telugu organizations, or, temple religious organizations. And then, fortunately, I was given opportunity, to serve in different capacities, president, convener. But my first experience, really, I'll never forget that, as the convener for '96 ATA convention. And before that, of course, '89 also we did the Thana convention,
Right.
and I was the advisor. And at that time, we did it at the University of Houston.
Correct.
And it went really well. That was my first experience, actually. And Vinta Janardhan Reddy was the convener. And so that was a great opportunity, learned a lot. And then I became myself convener in '96. That was the American Telugu Association convention at Georgia Baum Convention Center. It was an overwhelming experience. I mean, the whole Telugu community of Houston came together. We worked together for, I don't know, almost a year. Meetings after meetings and that itself was a lot of fun. I mean, coming together, the whole community coming together and helping, and it was still people talk as one of the best conventions because it went like a family type kind of thing. Everybody came together and people really enjoyed. We had a lot of fun with that convention. Of course, always Swaroop, they always say in our organizations, if we elect one or get one, we one for two. So that's the way it has been. She is always whatever I do, she helps. So she was a big help, in that convention.
We have several beautiful temples in Houston. One of them is Sri Meenakshi Temple in Greater Houston, actually in Pearland. This temple is a big tourist attraction in our state, Texas.
Right.
Over the years, you raised millions of dollars for this temple, in addition to volunteering lots of your time, of course, 2 for 1. We like to hear your valuable experience in this multicultural environment. Can you let us know how rewarding this experience is and what you may have learned along the way?
You use the right word, rewarding. That is, I worked in a lot of non-profit organizations, but I always tell, just going to the temple and serving the temple gives me a lot more. Really, it's a very rewarding experience, and I've been associated with the temple since 1981, ever since I came to the United States. I mean, Houston, not United States. But I learned a lot in the way of life and how to deal with the people. And I served in several boards, 6 boards, and they gave me plenty of opportunity as a puja committee coordinator. And we have celebrated the first Kumbhabhishekam. Kumbhabhishekam they do in all our Indian temples every 12 years after the installation. So in 1985, we did this Kumbhabhishekam, and so 95, I had to correct it. So that time, almost like 10,000-15,000 people attended these Kumbhabhishekam activities, and we had a helicopter going up and showering the flowers and all that. So I was the puja committee coordinator. That was really, experience for the lifetime, really. And I enjoyed thoroughly with that. And then later, of course, they asked me to be the fundraising, like you are saying, for the Kalyana Mandapam. We built a beautiful Kalyana Mandapam. You know, we went around and asked for money from the Houston community, and they were so generous. And not only Houston, we even got money from out of town, like Lufkin, McCannell, different towns. And so that was the first project, and then I became the chairman later, and that's when we built the youth center. And so yeah, it's a very pleasant experience, and it's like it's a lifetime thing. I mean, once you are a member there, once you work throughout life, you want to do something at the temple.
Right.
This is not just Telugu, right?
Yeah.
It's multi-language. People move there.
Yes. Yeah, Swarupa, you're always very helpful in all of AVN's endeavors and also volunteer for Meenakshi temple several times and in multiple ways. I mean, you're board members and all in different positions too. I remember one time you climbed up all the way to the top of Sri Meenakshi temple Gopuram to put lights on it for Deepavali, the festival of lights. What made you do that, and how do you get so much energy to do so many things like that? And also tell us your experience in this area.
I like to do challenging things, different things, and to be new, introduce some new things. Until then, they were not putting any lights or anything. Deepavali means lights. And I wanted to put all over the Gopuram. Nobody was volunteering. So they brought a lift, and nobody was experienced, but I took a chance, and I started. Then it continued, and it was improved over the years.
I remember AVN, at that time AVN was saying something about my heart was going like this and she was all the way up there. That was
Yeah, she was in a little bucket and they lifted the whole thing and she was trying to.
That was quite interesting. Yes, that is very good.
Yeah, interesting you remember that.
Yes. Congratulations on several of your awards, and you recently received in 2014 award too. Please tell us about it and also other significant awards.
When you serve in this, different organizations and all that, and people do award and this one, Akineni's award. I mean, I'm a big fan of this great actor, who has done so much to the Telugu film industry. But not only Telugu film industry, as a person, he was a great person. There's so much to learn from him. And he lived good life, and he lived up to 95. So getting an Akineni award, that was so special to me. It meant a lot. That was very appreciative of that. And that was a good experience for me to receive that award.
Excellent.
Helvi Prasad Award also.
Yeah.
That's for engineering.
Very
Right.
good. Excellent. Swarupa, you are a successful physician. And not only that, you are so talented and creative. First, can you tell us how many children and grandchildren you both have, and where they are and what fields they are in?
Okay, we have 2 children, 1 girl, 1 boy, Chandana and Suraj. And Chanda has 2 kids. She got married in 2000, and the next one is Suraj. And he has 3 sons, 1 set of twins, and they are a total of 5 grandchildren we have. And Chandana is a physician herself and specialized in family practice. And Suraj is a radiologist. And we have good time with our grandchildren. And they are in Dallas, both of them. And real soon we are planning to move to Dallas.
Really?
Yeah.
Son-in-law is also a physician. His name is Hari Reddy, and our daughter-in-law is Mutyala. She has her hands are full taking care of 3 grandchildren and husband, so she stays home. We have been really fortunate. They have found good partners, good spouses, so they are happy. They've been happily married for almost 15 years, my daughter, and 14 years son. So, that's the best part of the life. I mean.
Can you tell us the grandchildren's names?
Okay, first one is Tara, and next one is Sean. The other one is Neil. Then it's the twins. They are
Rishi.
Rohan and Rishi.
Beautiful. So how do you feel about taking your whole life from Houston to Dallas?
Oh, I don't know how it will be, but our goal is to be with the grandchildren for next few years until they go to high school at least.
Yes.
We have done everything so far. Now I think it's time to spend with the grandchildren.
I totally understand. AVN Garu, you also served as a board of director to Indo-American Charity Fund. Please tell us about your part and experience during that time.
A lot of Indian organizations, what we have is we serve our community and also serve community back home. But this particular organization, I was so impressed when they asked me to serve on the board. This is something to give back where we live.
Yes.
I mean, so that was a noble idea. And because, this is the best country in the world. I mean, I don't think any place you get this kind of opportunities where a person with, I came with $8 in my pocket because that's all it was allowed. And there's no limit, sky is the limit in this country. And we have some very successful people who have become billionaires. So in that country, when, giving something back to the local community, and that was the main objective of this organization. So I really enjoyed. I did my 2 terms with them, and enjoyed collecting the money and participating in the local community activities and donating money for the local people and all that. So it's still continuing, and they're doing an excellent job.
Excellent. You touched on some of your service projects in India. You want to elaborate on
Right.
this?
With the organizations, especially this, the second organization we found, because a lot of like-minded people, they wanted to do more serving back home and also serving the people who are in need here. And with that intention, we formed this organization in 2011 called North American Telugu Association, and I was the first president for that organization. So in that, we came up with an idea of Seva. Seva means serving. Seva days in India. So in that one, 2 weeks, we traveled all over the Andhra Pradesh. That time it was Andhra Pradesh. And we conducted these health camps, 5 major, not major, but the small towns actually, in different parts of Andhra Pradesh. And actually, Swaroop also helped as a physician. And it was such a overwhelming experience again there, treating people, there who are in need, and it was like hundreds, even thousands, came in, and so that was one of the things we did, and then we also awarded scholarships for the merit students, high school graduates going into college. We picked up like 5 students from each district of Andhra Pradesh. There was 21 districts, so we picked up, but there were some extra. So about 125 scholarships we awarded going to the college. And then another interesting project we did was drinking water. There are a lot of villages, they really, even now, they don't have safe drinking water. And it's very affordable, and a lot of people came forward to do this project. And with the local Rotary organization, with the collaboration with them, we have done in 25 villages. These are projects where you get the safe drinking water. You have from the well, they purify it, and then it's a very good project, and they are still continuing doing. But at our time, we did 25 projects as a pilot project, And that was a very good thing. There are a lot of things back home you could do, especially with US dollars. With little dollars, back home you can spend money, and so yeah, I wish, I'm hoping that they continue.
In many villages and schools, they don't have restrooms for
Yeah.
girls, so
Right.
they are doing some
Yes.
of them.
Excellent. Sri Krishna Janmashtami is celebrated in a big way
Right.
in George Brown Convention Center in Houston. I see in your bio that you were coordinator in 1997 and 98.
Right.
We like to hear about this.
That's when all Indian communities come together. I mean, it's such a joyful celebration, and Lord Krishna, everybody knows, and it's not just the religious part, but actually it is like a social where small children come and dance, and they dress like little Krishnas, and so it's really a lot of fun. And then there is dandiya, that garba and dance and all that, and good Indian food. A lot of restaurants come and serve the Indian food. So coordinating that is another good experience I had, because there it's not just from Andhra Pradesh, the whole Indian community come together, and it's at the George R. Brown Convention Center. It's almost like, starts at 4 o'clock, goes until midnight.
Midnight, because that's when Krishna is born.
Right. And it's a lot of fun. And that's the one really attended by 10, 12,000 people. And so, that was another nice experience, I had, with that. And I miss a lot of those people, and, a couple of them recently passed away, so it was nice. I mean, when we moved into Houston, these were all different experiences. We went through that.
Very good. Now, Houston is a very cosmopolitan city. We have so many different, like you're talking about, different Indian communities in our city, like Telugu, Tamil, Kannada, Gujarati, Marwadi, Punjabi, Marathi, Kerala, etc. What are your feelings on the future of these communities? Will they all slowly unite as one big Indian community, or maintain unity in diversity?
I think maintain unity in diversity, because that India is special in that respect, that from different districts have different kinds of culture, but when it comes to overall, there are a lot of common things among all of us. In terms of Indian weddings, how we treat our parents, how we take care of the children. That common culture is there, as Indians, and of course India is thousands of years, tradition, cultures is there, even though it was ruled by Muslims and ruled by Britishers for 200 years. But we never lost that, that bond, that kind of traditions we have, and that's common among all different communities, all different places of India. So I would say, yeah, we still have a lot of common things, but again, each region has their own organizations, associations, and that's nothing wrong in that, to preserve our heritage and culture. That's what I tell our children. We have to take the best of the two worlds.
Yeah.
I mean, India has a lot of values like our culture, tradition, and here we have a lot of values like discipline and values of giving, and so you can learn from both, and really become a best person.
Best person. Yes.
So it's good to have all these various organizations, and everybody is now doing these annual events where thousands of people get together. So I hope it will continue, and we should never forget where we came from, and that's what we always tell. That's the only way you will be recognized. Otherwise, you will be just one of the people with no recognition. And you see a lot of the communities, like Jewish community, they maintain there, and like that. I think we have to always remember where we came from.
Okay, I want to ask you this. What do you think, and how Houston contributed to your professional and personal growth? You both can tell.
Yeah, I mean,
One after.
yeah, okay. I mean, before coming to Houston, I worked in South Carolina as in a consulting company, and then in Alabama. But because we both, after she completed a residency, and she was looking for a job, and she found VA hospital. And that's when I looked at Houston, and Houston is the center for engineering. And there are plenty of opportunities in Houston. There are big, almost all named big companies are in Houston. So I thought, yeah, that's the best place to move, for both of us. So we made a decision to move, and as I said, there were so many opportunities. I worked in 2-3 different consulting companies, but it's a very good experience working in a big companies like right now. I work for Jacobs, and we travel all over the country, all over the world with the company work and all that, and it's a great opportunity, to work for big companies like that, and wife can tell about her.
Yeah. I've worked for VA Hospital, it's a federal government hospital, since 1981 till 2006. I retired in 2006. And after that also I've been working part-time outside. And it was good experience as a physician. I loved it.
All right. So now I like to hear how all your contributions to Houston. I know you contributed to Houston in so many ways. Please tell us some of those contributions that we have not covered yet.
Well, I think you covered, pretty much, but you remember, you were part of that, our Telugu Association, that's how we started. There is a Houston TCA, they call it Telugu Cultural Association. That's where our children grew, and with all the other Telugu children. And see, that kind of opportunity is not there in other cities. But here, that togetherness, bringing our children among with other children, and they even learned this Telugu language from this. We used to have this Telugu school, and then Telugu picnics, and going to this cultural program where our kids dance, and so those memories we'll never forget that. Right. And in that, we have participated, and Swaroop used to teach dancing and all that for the children. And we used to go to Huntsville Park for the picnics in the night. Spend the night there. So that was a great thing. And then, of course, as I said before, serving in the temple, that's another great opportunity for me. That's having a temple where for the religious needs, having that temple and serving there is the best thing Houston can provide. I mean, in Houston, of course, you have so many temples. I mean, I always tell this is for anybody who, if they want to see the temple, come to Houston. And you have different temples and all that. So serving in the temple, serving in the organization, and serving in the Indo-American charity and the Janmashtami, all that really made our life better. I mean, in the sense, and our children also became better children because of that. And surprisingly, our children at that time, there was little resistance to learn and to do all this. Now exactly. My daughter does the same thing to her children. She wants to put her in the dance school, put her in the music school. So I always tease her. I said, you used to be little resistant at that time. Now you are doing the same thing. I said, Dad. So, but they became very good person from living in Houston. So that is one great opportunity we had. Living here in Houston.
Would you like to add anything else? Not really. Okay. Now, even though this is a sensitive subject, I like to ask, have you experienced, witnessed, or noticed any discrimination personally or distantly?
Oh, you know, I mean, people talk about that, and I read a lot, and you know, people who are in Alabama, I think some people experienced that they went to a restaurant, and some people came and said, "What you guys are doing here?" You know, things like that, and so they got up and left. But fortunately, I never had that experience, really. I mean, I always look at the positive side, and I always compare, you know, back home. I mean, within our own community, you know, you discriminate among people coming from
Yes.
other state, other region, and compared to that, here, I mean, it's open. I mean, there's so much of freedom for your religion, for, you know, you speak. It may be there, but at least personally, I never noticed any discrimination. Maybe I was fortunate like that, having associated with the people where they treated me equally. In the school and where I work, I mean, I get a lot of respect, you know, with my colleagues and all that. And so, like I said, I know what you're talking about, but personally, I never felt it. So it's, you know, so I really felt good. I mean, Swarupa may have a different
What about
experience,
you?
but
No, I didn't have any ill experiences. Even at work, if you do, you get rewarded.
Exactly. Since we are first immigrants, I just wanted to capture
Right,
your,
right,
any experiences. Okay, now how integrated your family and you are in the Houston mainstream community?
well, I mean, we are part of the, you know, Houston great, you know, community, but among our own family also, we are kind of a very close-knit, you know, family ourselves. And my brother came first, then I came, and then one time we tried to put together our family get-together in North Carolina mountains, and that was a big task. Swarupa and I thought about that, and you know, we wanted to do it. Then we started counting how many people we have in this country. At that time it was like 108 or 110, you know, something. Now more people added since then. So we wanted to bring everybody together like that, and but we were successful in bringing about 65 or 70 of us. And
great.
yeah, that was a, you know, we thought that was, you know, best thing to do. But you know, we stayed together, and still yet, you know, when it comes to the Houston community, we always be part of it, and we wanted to be always, you know, part of it. So we, you know, consider, you know, of course, among our children as a small family, and then big family, and then, you know, bigger family. You know, that's how we treat ourselves, you know, being part of the, you know, whole community.
Any involvement in any political organizations?
No, that's one thing. I mean, I like politics, I like sports, so I participate quite a bit. I follow, you know, during the elections and all that. I mean, I sit in front of the TV for hours and hours, watch the returns, and I follow very closely. And but I mean, I supported, you know, people who have contested, you know, for different positions, like, you know, like we have two governors when they came for campaigning, and so, you know, we always, you know, do that. But personally, I never had that, you know, interest in, you know, going into the politics.
Okay. Either one of you founded any organizations? I know you may be founding member of some organizations, some associations,
Right.
or any particular.
Right. I mean, you know,
Touch on
this,
those.
yeah, this is one thing good that, I mean, some people say, why different organization? I always say, why not? As long as, you know, this organization work in a healthy competition and doing a good job, and, you know, there's nothing wrong, because our community is growing so big now. I mean, you know, we used to be in hundreds, now it's in thousands. So, yeah, I was, you know, had an opportunity to be a founding member of American Telugu Association, and in 1991. And before that, that was the first Telugu organization was Tana, and I was a member and also a regional vice president for that organization. And in ATA, I served as a convener and the president. But in all organizations, same objectives, serve the people here and serve people back home. And then what happened, the organization took a different direction, and that's when a lot of our people wanted to do more community services. That's when we formed this other organization called NATA. And then I was the founding president for that organization. And and right now I'm the advisory council. I served as the president for 2 years. We had a convention here, and the second convention was in Atlanta, and third one going to be in Dallas. So it's good again. This is where we can pass on our rich culture and heritage to our children, grandchildren, and we want to encourage youth to come and participate, and so that they can learn and all that. So yeah, I mean, I participated, in several organizations like that.
So Rupa, would you like to tell us about your interest, hobbies, and other talents? I know you have several.
I'm more interested in dance, various types, and now lately I'm doing some yoga also. That one, exercise, going to exercise. That's how I used to enjoy stitching also, but nowadays I'm not doing much. Cooking is another one I enjoy.
Are you going to the yoga? On
Yeah, I'm
31st?
going.
Yeah.
Modi declared
Tomorrow,
yoga.
yeah, tomorrow. But
yeah,
she
yeah.
put
Day after
together.
tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah, she actually, I mean, she's not telling all that, but she put together all functions. She wants to make it special.
Yes.
When it comes to birthdays or even our 25th anniversary and our both children's weddings, and she's a very good planner, and she wants to always make any function something special.
Special.
I
Creative
plan,
and
he
special.
executes.
I plan, he executes. Perfect combination.
But,
So did you learn a dance, classical dance when you were
Yes,
young?
I did learn Bharatanatyam for 5 years.
Did
when
you
I was in
Arangetram?
I couldn't do the Arangetram at that time, but I finished all the course though.
I remember all your dance work, not only both of you, but other kids, training other kids for
Yeah, whatever I know, whenever there's a cultural program, I used
programs.
to train the people.
Exactly, I remember our Telugu school
Right.
camps and functions as well too. So, okay, what do you think about the future generations of Indian background in Houston? Will they maintain their identity as Indians for a long time, or will they be mixed in the melting pot soon? What do
well,
you think? Each one of you.
see, initially we used to think, at least I used to think, that maybe after us, our children may or may not follow, our religion and traditions and all that. But at least now I have to change, that thinking, looking at my children, and they are, following all those traditions, and they are passing out to their children. So I think, somehow, we don't have any, like a rigid kind of things in our religion. Our religion is like a way of life, and as long as our children, they like what we do, the way we treat among ourselves and all that. If those values are there, religion is, half of it is like I said, how we live, how
Yeah,
we
right.
have the values, how
Way
we,
of life.
way of life. And so that is not going to change. I think it will continue for generations, at least I hope it will continue. Because these are something good, and they practice. When they practice, they want to tell their children, and then hopefully their children will tell their other children, So it should continue, but it may not be at the same level, but I think it will continue.
What do you think, Swarupa?
I know every generation they lose some, and eventually after several generations it will get mixed into the pot.
Mixed in.
Yeah.
I'm curious what you think about the temples. Do you think they will survive with our children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, or what do you think?
I think they will survive because just looking at the history in India, how all the temples got survived with hundreds of years of ruling by other religion, and still the temples were intact and people's beliefs were intact, and so same way. Now I see, every Saturday, Sunday when you go to the, Meenakshi temple or any temple, in fact, you see hundreds of youngsters,
Yes.
coming to the temple. And when I started serving the temple, several years back, 30 years back, I used to think, I don't know after 30 years what happened, but now I can see it actually, more people, more youngsters are coming to the temple. So I think it will continue, and definitely. And but that's good that everywhere they are building nice temples. And that's one thing I want to mention. Meenakshi temple, was built 30 years back, and we are in expansion now, a beautiful expansion. And I think this will be enjoyed because at that time when we built, we thought, of course, money was also a point, So the place that time we thought was enough, but now with the growing devotee population, so we thought we should increase the size of the temple and add several other features into that. So this is a $1.4 million expansion project. We started a few months back, and planning to complete by November. There's a big event, Kumbhabhishekam event. So this will be something everybody will enjoy. We are really looking forward to complete this project. So yeah, it will be enjoyed.
I see several times you do a wonderful job of fundraising. Now, tell us, enlighten us some of the, important things that how the fundraising should be done, or how we should not shy away from fundraising.
Fundraising is one thing you have to learn. You are asking money not for yourself. That's always very tough and shameless. But when you are asking for some good cause, you shouldn't be, feel bad if somebody says no. That's the first fundamental thing, because if you ask 10 people, maybe only half of them would come forward and happily give. The other may say something, no, another may even criticize you.
Yeah.
So you have to be ready for that. But as long as you are doing it for a good cause, that shouldn't bother. That is the basic principle of fundraising. And but we have a great community, everywhere. Because I do raise funds for Telugu organization and for the temples. And when you go ask people, they come out and they give generously. And repeatedly I go there, and still it won't bother them, and they make a joke and fun and all that. But still people do give money, but that's the basic principle, that you shouldn't feel bad if somebody says no. That's
something we have to remember, and then always keep that in mind. Swarupa, what professional organizations are you involved as a physician or as a Swaroop Reddy?
I was part of AMA, American Medical Association, and Texas Medical Association, and Houston Medical Association.
Okay.
And
API, you were also, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a member of API also, American Indian Association. And I'm part of whatever he is, all the Telugu organizations.
All right. So tell us anything that we have not covered, and any comments you would like to give.
Well, I think we covered most of it what we wanted to say, but now, as Swarupa said, we feel like that we serve the community, and now, we want to go into a different phase, just be with our, children and grandchildren. But of course, we will never forget this Houston community, so we are always part of this. Our plan is that every month, we still become, I haven't left yet, it will be another close to a year before I leave Houston.
Will it really happen?
I don't know.
Believe it when I see it.
I don't know that.
We initiated, we took a lot, and we are building the house, so it
You
will
were
happen.
telling me about it.
Yeah, but children been asking, why Dad, why don't you retire? But every time I talk about retirement, our office people say, no, you have to do one more project, before you retire. So it's been going on for last 4 or 5 years. I haven't told my office people yet, but we still, both of us love to travel, and we travel all over the world. With groups, we always go big groups like 40-45 people. Sometimes these groups are among the friends, and sometimes it's a family group. We went to Alaska one time on a cruise with 45 family members.
China.
We went to China, Australia, and then with the families, we went to Europe and Japan and Southeast Asia and things like that. So we love to travel, and every time we go to India, see, when we were there, I left India when I was 20, and so at that time, of course, I didn't have that much money, and busy with education and all that, so never had a chance to see places in India. So this time, for last 15 years, we made a point that every time we go to India, see something. There are so much places to see in India, wonderful, beautiful places. So every time we go there, we travel. We went to the Himalayas, beautiful mountains, and went to Sri Lanka this last time. So from top to bottom, we just want to travel different places, cover all those things. And so the next time, we want to enjoy with take our grandkids and go there. And so that's our plan, but we have to see how it goes. But our children are really looking forward for us to go there and join them. And so we have planning to build a house between my son and daughter's place. My grandson, son of my son, was asking, Tata, where are you going to build the house? So he was trying to find out whether I am close to him or close to So I had to be
rivalry already.
Yeah, so I had to be diplomatic. I told him it's somewhere in between.
That's very good. I'm sure you have several skills, good skills like politically correct, good mediator, and good diplomat. Excellent. Very good. So I bet, Swarupa, you're looking forward to spending more time with the grandchildren, children and grandchildren. And,
I have my sister also there.
That's right.
Yeah, well,
Right.
he has his sister in Houston. I have my brother in Houston.
Yes.
His brother also lives in Houston. We have family here and we have family there. Yeah.
So
So you will be coming to Houston very often, like you said, maybe once a month for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure, because I'm still associated with the temple, and I like I said, that's a lifetime thing. Once you commit for life. So yeah, I'll be regularly coming to Houston. It's only 4.5 hours drive from Houston, and now we've been doing it last several years, visiting our children there. So it's not bad drive. Just coming to Houston and all that. And for last over 35 years, we made so many friends here. We don't want to forget them, and I'm sure they don't want to forget us either.
We've been very good friends with you, even from Alabama.
I know.
And we both moved to Houston around the same time too, from Alabama.
Right.
Again, and your kids, our kids, everybody is such a close friends.
But this is a nice project. I saw Krishna's interview over the Channel 13, and very good objective, you know. This is something people who came 30, 40 years back, you know, came to this country and talking about their experiences, how they came in and how they settled, and those kind of things, a valuable thing for grandchildren,
Yes.
children, grandchildren to watch and know. And I mean, whoever thought about it is one of the, you know, it's a real good project. And
Yeah, it definitely I agree with you, and it's very important one since we are the first immigrants,
right.
and then to capture first immigrants' experiences before and after coming here, when they their impressions here, and how you know their life has you know both benefited and how they contributed to the community, and this is you know we're leaving a permanent you know gathering of capturing the permanently in Houston Public Library and archives and Houston Community College, and that's why I also feel agree with you 100%. So we thank you, AVN Garu, Reddy Garu, and Swarupa for giving us this great opportunity
It's
to
our
interview
pleasure.
you and both of you, and listen to all your wonderful life and experiences. You both are long-time friends to us, of course, like I said, and also we want to thank Foundation for India Studies, Houston Public Library, and Houston Community College for this great work in this Indo-American Oral History project and giving us the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.